Hello there, y'all. This is the harvest of that underwhelming garlic harvest I mentioned the other day. We planted a lot of cloves and we did not even get back the number of heads that we planted cloves. So I don't even know if we broke even on that. And I don't think these are going to store well, especially since I just watched a garlic episode on the Superfoods Summit that was at the end of this week. And one of the guys was talking about garlic. He is a commercial garlic producer and he uses organic gardening methods, even though he's not certified organic. And so he was saying if you let the plant dry completely, then it's most likely not going to store well because all of the wrappers have dried up and essentially the cloves are going to bust through the wrappers that are around them. So one of the tidbits that I learned from that, I actually learned several tidbits, but one of the big ones is that you do not count the number of dry leaves. Instead, he suggested that it's best to count the number of green leaves that are on top. He said the reason for that is you want to make sure that there are 5 to 6 green leaves still left, because those are the ones that are closest to the cloves and those create the wrapper. If you only have 2 or 3 green leaves left, he said it will not be enough of a wrapper around your cloves for it to store well. Now, if you're going to freeze or consume immediately your garlic cloves, then it's not a big deal per se. But if you're wanting to have the garlic head stored for the winter months or for several months, then he said the 5 to 6 rule is a good one to use. Now, I'm not really good about remembering numbers, so I was trying to think, okay, how can I remember this? And what I did was I put up my hand and said 5, and then I bent my finger down, or 6. Because that motion, I will be able to remember. I won't be able to remember numbers, but I can remember a motion. And how is that 5 and 6? Well, Mama, this is 6 in sign language. Mama. Hey, mister, since there are 5 to 6 or less leaves on the garlic, are you going to help me harvest? Yeah. Okay, now, as I mentioned before, I do not plan on harvesting every single one of these because these were the ginormous elephant garlic that my parents gave us, and they were on an abandoned homestead. So they've been left in the ground for years and years, probably 30 years or more, maybe even more like 50 years. But I only want to leave some to do that. The rest I do want to go ahead and harvest and bring in, partly so we can eat and partly so we can save some for planting in the fall. And we will plant in the fall, I am determined. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention on this particular plant, hi Hercules, is that I do not think these heads got as big as what we planted. But honestly, that's not surprising since we didn't plant until early spring. And, you know, garlic really needs to be planted in the fall for the best harvest. The other thing that the individual mentioned for the garlic is that a big tip is garlic, like other alliums, such as onions, do not do well when there are a lot of weeds. And obviously, these are the weeds that were there that we pulled when we were pulling the garlic for that underwhelming harvest. So again, obviously, we did not do well. And I'd heard that tip before, but had forgotten it. So it was a good reminder through that Superfoods Summit that we really need to make more of an effort to stay on top of the weeds. Even if life gets away with us, even if it's rainy like crazy, we at least need to make a little more of an attempt, or we should just get used to expecting that kind of a harvest. All right, y'all, I am going to go ahead and work on harvesting this heirloom garlic. I am excited for this because I was super psyched when my parents gave us some of the heads, and hopefully we will be able to have an even better result next year when we plant in the fall, or because we plant in the fall. Yeah. All right, y'all have a blessed day, and we will talk to you again soon. God bless.